Well, howdy do everyone, and welcome back to the ranch. More specifically and more accurately, welcome back to the shop. And yes, this is exactly where you saw me last time, and no, I haven't been here the whole time since then. And no, this is not going to be an automotive video. This is going to be just a regular wildlife video. It's just that, as you well know, I usually make my wildlife videos out on the ranch under some pretty shade tree with a nice cool breeze blowing, and afraid that does not exist anymore here. In the shop right now, it's about 75 degrees, thanks to Mr. Cool giving me a mini split air conditioner to put in here. And outside, it's probably 20 degrees higher than that, headed for 100 today or more. So this video, and more than likely some in the near future, will be made in the shop just for that basic reason. But anyway, thanks so much for being here today. It is good to have you here. Things have been changing rapidly lately. We had a nice little reprieve ending our 3-year drought starting around January. However, when June rolled around, it kind of came to a screeching halt. These videos right here were made in June, and you can see there's a lot of really nice grasses, nice lush grasses, and little fat deer running around in it. So things were pretty nice there for a while. But you can also see in this video that was made toward the end of June that the grasses are getting somewhat sparse. They're kind of thinning out a little bit, and that is due to the fact that it abruptly stopped raining about the 1st of June. The temperatures have just been scorching. 100 degrees are very common, and the wind just doesn't seem to want to quit blowing. And all of this is happening at the worst possible time, because right now all the white-tailed deer are still nursing their babies, and the quality of their milk, the quantity of their milk, depends on the protein in the grasses. And when the grasses are leached out by the sun, the high winds, and the lack of rain like this, there's very little protein in there. So to combat this problem, I've really stepped up the supplemental feeding. I've increased the amount of corn. I've increased the amount of range cubes, which are minerals, and I've also set out some mineral blocks for them as well. So hopefully that will help the moms get through to weaning the little babies, and hopefully there's enough nutrition left in the grass to help those little babies survive their first year. And while I was looking for videos to go along with the supplemental feeding, I stumbled upon this picture right here. And this was taken probably about 2.5 or 3 years ago. And a lot of you politely made the comment that you thought I might be getting a little too old to be making 10 trips up this 8-foot ladder with 50 pounds of corn on my shoulders just to fill up the deer feeder. And I didn't think that much about that. But not too long after that, my wife came up to me one day and she said, "Hey, did you hear about one of our friends over in Austin?" And she said he had climbed up a ladder and his foot slipped on it. He had fallen off and broken his pelvis. And he was in a heck of a mess. And then I thought, well, I just need to be careful. I'll just keep doing it. And then it was not very long after that another one of my friends called me, and he had gotten to the top of his ladder. He was outside on his ladder. He got to the top of it, got lightheaded, fell off of it, and when he awakened, he was laying on the ground beside a brick planter, and his head had missed the corner of it by a matter of inches. And then again, this is all happening within like 6 or 8 months, and not too long after that, another one of my friends fell off his ladder inside his shop and landed on a sawhorse with his rib cage and broke some ribs that punctured some thoracic vessels, and he was dead by the time they got him to the hospital. So that in mind, that was enough. That's 3. I'm fortunate that I was not the third one, but that was enough to make me kind of change my mind. So Drew was needing a feeder for his property too, and we went out one day and wound up buying some of these low profile feeders like this. So no more ladder climbing for the old man here, but these are really cool. I really like them, and this is not a sponsored video. This feeder, I paid full price plus tax for it, just like you guys do too. But they're pretty neat feeders. The biggest problems we had with these elevated feeders were squirrels and raccoons triggering the vise, keeping the corn going all the time, or if they were only about half full, hogs could knock them over and then eat all the corn out of them, plus the damage they did to the feeder. So we were promised that these low profile feeders are deer proof, hog proof, squirrel proof, and raccoon proof, and so far they have been. But anyway, we really, really like these. I highly advise these. And like I said, this is not a sponsored video. And a lot of people have asked me, a lot of people have seen them on my videos and asked me how they work. And here's a short video explaining exactly how these things work. As you can see here, we can program this thing to distribute corn 6 times a day. Program 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if you look, our program 1 goes off at 7:31 in the morning, and it spins for 12 seconds. Program number 2 goes off at 6:45 p.m. It also spins for 12 seconds. Program number 3 goes off at 12:30 a.m. and it throws corn out for 4 seconds. Anyway, there's 6 of those programs, 6 of those times throughout the day that you can program this thing. So pretty handy. You can adjust it up to a 30-minute spin, and like I said, 6 times a day. So pretty cool. Works really, really well. And it's got a 12-volt battery in here, and on the other side it's got a solar panel that keeps that battery charged and hot all the time. And as you can see, we are now full of corn. I just put 10 50-pound bags in there, so 500 pounds of corn. Come and get it, guys. So with the brutal heat, the drought, and all the changes that are going on, the habitat destruction from my neighbor's new subdivision that's going on next door, we are basically seeing a dramatic shift in the natural balance of all these small animals.
I felt a great disturbance in the force.
Yep, a great disturbance indeed. And now, the hog population, once again, is out of control. And yes, those hogs are destroying all the natural habitat for the indigenous native species of animals. Looks like it might be time to weed the garden again. And supporting my theory of an imbalance in nature or a
great disturbance in the force,
coyote population is almost non-existent. And with the coyote population down to pretty much nada, the baby fawns, their population is out of control. One of the moms even has triplets. We rarely see triplets around here. And in the next montage, I put 2 or 3 videos of the triplets in there. If you'll watch real close, you'll see them. Enjoy. folks, when you see these little babies born as triplets like this, that's a pretty rare phenomenon. And beyond that overload of cuteness, and despite the drought that we've fallen back into, most of the small animals are doing pretty darn well. Our little broken leg fox just keeps gimping right along. The porcupines are still just porking. Our little doe with the cerebellar spasticity still getting along fine. Skunks are still skunking. The raccoons are still goofy as ever. This disobedient black lab pup is still an idiot. And the little ringtail cat, he's still as cute as he can be. And the raccoon teenagers, they're still dragging home long after they should have been in bed. The armadillos have pretty much perfected tandem plowing. The axis deer population continues to rebuild. The white-tailed bucks are enjoying their new antlers, which is all good fun and games until somebody gets poked in the eye. And here's man's best friend trying to wreck his master. Is it road rage, or is he just an idiot? I vote for the latter. Well, folks, that's about it from out here on the ranch today, or more specifically, out here in the shop today. I sure appreciate you being here, taking time out of your day. You know it means a lot to me. I just wanted to give you a brief synopsis on what's going on out here on the ranch. Like I said, it's going to be mighty rough on these little animals up through probably the second week in September. Short of a hurricane, it's usually very hot and very dry between now and mid-September here. So I'll do my best to keep them fed, keep all the minerals out there as well, and keep them a good supply of fresh water. And they'll probably do just fine. Anyway, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for subscribing to this channel. Thank you for liking my videos. And thank you for sharing them. I sure appreciate that when you do your part too. God bless you all. I look forward to seeing you next time. And I want you to always remember I love you. Bye-bye now. So what you doing there, Al?
Neutering a dog, Dad.
All right. Who's going to learn you?
That's a mistake.